Alrighty, so we are back in the lab mode. I have my larger piece of glass. This is part 2, page 18, top of page 18. You were to make that modification. If you did not listen to the video instructions, you should go back and do it now. And if you think you can get away with not doing it, then you are missing the instructions about what you need to change in this page. Okay, guys, I'm not going to take this up. I can't deal. Right? Go and watch the video. Do what I told you to change. Right? So you need to change this because this is where we are recording the data for this experiment, and then we will finish that in a minute. Okay, so we are doing the multiple hit to say hit sequencing. That's the point of this. So here's my larger piece of glass. I have taped the outside edges. I have cellophane across it in 3 different places. I will insert it into 2 of the baggies. That one has a piece of glass in it. I'm picking the baggie. Let's grab an old one. And again, because of the situation where the nail will slip on the plastic, I'm going to pierce the plastic. It's a tight fit because it's a larger piece of glass. But I'm going to pierce the plastic with a nail so that the nail goes down and hits the glass so it doesn't slip. And the purpose of this is to demonstrate that the glass fractures in such a particular way that you can look, if you arrive on the scene as an investigator, you can look at the fracture pattern and you can see what order the hits came in. So let's see. I'm going to try to take them far apart and see how it works. There's that. That's there. This is here. So the first one, I'm going to break that other thing. It's going to be down in this corner, away from you, but I'm going to turn it to face you. I'm going to hold my nail so I don't smash my fingers again. Okay, so there's my first one. Now, I know it's going to be hard for you to see, but the lines go all the way out to the edge. Right? They're all the way out. I'm going to do a second one up here in this corner. There we go. So this will be my second hit. Oh, I gotta do a different nail so it won't break it. Pull that one out. That one here. So my second one's there. And then I'm gonna put a third one here. Oh, new nail. Trying to get a little lazy and skip a spot, but we need a new nail. And there we go. Now, when I go to take this apart, and I'm going to be really careful when I do that. You might be able to see it without me taking out of the plastic, but I'll show it to you like this. Trying to get it so you can see it. This was the first hit. These go all the way to the edges, all the way. This is the second hit. This one coming off from the second hit stops there. It doesn't go all the way to the edge. If it comes this way, it stops at the one that came out from the first hit. And the same thing with the third hit. And this isn't as the greatest thing as they wanted you to see. They wanted it really to be like 1, 2, 3, but this hit fractured the whole thing, so it's can't really show you what they really wanted you to see. But even with this hit, it doesn't keep going. Once it hits a line from here, it stops. And that's what they really want you to look at, is that you tell the pattern based on where the line fracture stops. I'm just doing this because it's easy to get the glass fragments. See, it's going to all fall apart. Even though I have tape and everything, it's just going to fall apart. See how the pieces are coming out? I'll put it on this piece of construction paper. So again, as you look at this, this was the first hit, and its lines go out to the side, and it kind of fractured again over here because of the angle I had on the ring stand. But if I did the third hit, it stopped. It stopped coming down. The second hit, this line stopped where this one was going that way. It stopped when it hit something from this one. Okay. Alrighty. I've cleaned up from the multiple break, and now we are going to go on to the density. So I have readily available a balance. Okay, the balance is zeroed. I am going to zero it with an empty weighboat. Okay, so I take my weighboat, I place it on the balance, and I hit 0. And what that does is, now when I go to weigh the glass, it'll automatically take away the weighboat. The weighboats all weigh very close to each other. In our accuracy here in this lab, they're good enough. So it will work. So what I'm going to do, and let me check your data table. The first data table, the first one we're going to do is window. Right, so I'm going to get pieces of my window glass that are broken. So I have it in a weighboat. I have a collection of pieces. These pieces are going to go into the graduated cylinder after I add water to them and get an initial value. So we're going to weigh these. So this is the window glass. This is the top line of your book. I'm going to put them onto the balance. Okay, so it's 7.17 grams. So in your book, you are going to record 7.17 grams. Now I'm going to take, and I'm going to add water to the graduated cylinder. And then I'm going to drop those pieces into the graduated cylinder. But before I drop them, I'm going to make sure that I measure the volume of the water. And it doesn't have to be the same volume each time I add it in. So I'm going to let it, try to get all the air bubbles out. There we go. So I measured to the bottom of the meniscus, 1,520. It's 17.50. So you have for me to see with my goggles on. Yes, it looks like it's 17, actually 0.40. So our initial 17.40 milliliters. Now I'm going to add the glass. Now I'm just going to double check that with these goggles on. Yep, that's what I'm going to call it. Here's one piece. Here's two pieces. Here's the third. And I got to get that third all the way in the water. Now it's right here. And I know that's hard for you to read, but that is close to 20 And it's a little over 20, so I'm going to call it 20.20. I'm not going to do the calculations for you. I'm just making sure you get the data. Now you can subtract these two and get the volume. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is, what is it, Pyrex? So here's my Pyrex. I got quite a few little pieces there to make sure I get a volume change. I'm going to take this off to the side because I don't need that anymore. Okay, so I'm going to weigh it. Put it on the balance. 9.93 grams. So you fill that in for your mass, 9.93 grams. I'm just going to record that and show you the table afterwards. Then I'm going to take this Pyrex and I'm going to put it into this particular graduated cylinder. That graduated cylinder's volume, which is hard for you to read, so if I bring it closer, you might be able to read it. There's 15.5, and I think it's 15.50. At least that is what I am going to call it. 15.50. Now I'm going to add this Pyrex, a little bit at a time. Uh-oh, please don't get stuck. I not all fit. I might have taken too much Pyrex. I might have to do it again. Yeah, I do. Can I get one more piece in there? Let's see if it'll work. Ooh, that one's gonna be tight. Alright. Well, that's it. 20.0. And we're gonna call that good enough, guys. There's one piece that's tall. I should have had that at the end. 20.0. Alright. That's gonna be fun for me to get those pieces out. Okay. I'll throw some in here too. There it is. Let's go with that. That's a little too high. Alright. Too much. Okay. So what's the next one? Tempered? Okay, so let's do the tempered. Back up so you can see in the background. Here's my graduate cylinder. Let's go get the mass and the tempered. So there's quite a few little pieces of tempered in there because they're really tiny. But notice that that weighs 19.88 grams. Maybe I have too much in there. We'll see. I might have to redo this one. 19.88. I'm going to put a little less water in there. This one looking like it's 16.0. Yep, we're going to call it at 16.0. To start, I'm going to add in our tempered. Okay, And it has gone up to 24.0. 24.0. So we're having trouble marking what's going on. The last two readings, 9.93. Take this camera. 15.5. 20.0. Sorry guys, I have no way to focus this camera. I hate it. And then we have 19.88 and 19.88, 16.00, 24.00. Last one, lead crystal. All right, this is 15.50 for the height of the volume. We will mass out our lead crystal. I'm going to take a piece away because the lead crystal is kind of big. Okay, so let's look at how much it weighs. That weighs 9.63. 9.63. And one more to get in there. And it is 19.00. 19.00. Okay, 19.00. Okay, 15.5, 19.00, 9.63. All right. So, guys, you can go ahead and finish out the last two columns. I'm going to let you calculate it. Should be able to do this, guys. It's subtraction and it's division, and you have calculators. When you're done, take a picture of this page and upload it into the assignment.